To all North Pole City Elves, those in Santa's Village, in the lower 48, and all around the world, this is your weekly update. I am your host, Walter Mistletoe Livingstone. Let's go to press. For the week of April 4th, 2022, your sponsor will be Clifford's Custom Cabins. If you're thinking about building a new cabin this spring, check out the new designs at Clifford's Custom Cabins, located at 439 Evergreen Lane. From single bedroom to complex design, Clifford's will have that design you are looking for, or they will help you create a custom layout. That's Clifford's Custom Cabins. Stop in today to make your dreams become a reality. Update from Santa's Village. All the workshops, factories, and warehouses went back into full production Monday morning, and reports have been posted that the production is back on schedule. Crews volunteered over break to come and get caught up on the miscellaneous issues and spent some time going over the machines that were causing problems. They did find some evidence of tampering and have submitted pictures to the investigation squad. As of Monday morning, everything is back on schedule. Edward Hinklemeyer released an updated time-off tax explanation and standards on the Office of Elf Affairs webpage this past week. The changes to the statement include adjustments to monitoring the work schedules of elves during downtime. You can check out the updates on the webpage, and this should be added to your Elf Workers Union handbooks. TAOLF.com has been working hard with WELF, NPC, North Pole City Radio to get the show pages online for all of the shows that are being broadcasted now on the radio station. Each show page will provide some history and description of the shows, as well as a listing of the titles that will be broadcasted for the given week. You can find out some great information about these old-time radio shows right now on TAOLF.com. North Pole City weather update. We will be expecting typical spring weather throughout the rest of the week, with some days being cold and snow and others being warmer and rainy. Temperatures will continue to rise and fall throughout the week. WELF NPC North Pole City Radio has added 3 new shows to the lineup on the radio station. These are 3 one-hour blocks of music dedicated to different genres that you can tune into for your listening pleasure. There'll be an hour of Christmas music, an hour of classical music, and an hour of rock music. The station is still deciding on the proper times to play these blocks, so be sure to check out the schedule on the station's internet radio page for the broadcast times. For this week in Elf History, I'm going to turn it over to our investigative reporter, Becky Marshmallow Livingstone. Take it away, Becky.
Thanks! On April 9th of 1865, in Appomattox Courthouse, Virginia, Robert E. Lee surrendered his 28,000 Confederate troops to Union General Ulysses S. Grant, signaling the beginning of the end of the American Civil War. Forced to abandon the Confederate capital of Richmond, blocked from joining the surviving Confederate force in North Carolina, and harassed constantly by the Union cavalry, Lee had no other option. In retreating from the Union Army's Appomattox campaign, the Army of Northern Virginia had stumbled through the Virginia countryside, stripped of food and supplies. At one point, Union cavalry forces under General Philip Sheridan had actually outrun Lee's army, blocking their retreat and taking 6,000 prisoners at Sailor's Creek. Desertions were mounting daily, and by April 8th, the Confederates were surrounded with no possibility of escape. On April 9th, Lee sent a message to Grant announcing his willingness to surrender. The two generals met in the parlor of the Wilmer McLean home at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Lee and Grant, both holding the highest rank in their respective armies, had known each other slightly during the Mexican War and had exchanged awkward personal inquiries. Characteristically, Grant arrived in his muddy field uniform while Lee had turned out in full dress attire, complete with sash and sword. Lee asked for the terms, and Grant hurriedly wrote them down. All of the officers and men were to be pardoned, and they would be sent home with their private property. Most importantly, the horses, which could be used for late spring planting, and the officers would keep their sidearms, as well as Lee's starving men. They would be given Union rations. Shushing a band that had begun to play in celebration, General Grant told his officers, "The war is over. The rebels are our countrymen again." Although scattered resistance continued for several weeks for all practical purposes, though, the Civil War had come to an end. Have you ever been to the McLean house? Oh, you know what, Walter? At the McLean house, they have this cute little doll. It's because there was a doll present, the little daughter of the McLean. Never mind.
Thank you, Becky. The North Pole City Commerce put out a thank you to all the businesses in North Pole City for all of their sales and special events that took place during spring break. The streets of the city were packed with elves going from store to store, and without the cooperation of these businesses, the enjoyment would have not been shared by all the community members. The North Pole City Council has received the first shipment of bricks from the North Pole City Brickworks, and construction has begun on a street and sidewalk project. Silver Bell Circle is almost completed, and the construction team will continue on to Tinsel Avenue next. The first brick out of the factory and a brick from Silver Bell Circle have been sent to City Archives for documentation purposes. You can check out more about the project and the bricks on the North Pole City Council's webpage on TAOLF.com. The North Pole City Sports League is considering the addition of a spring sport for the coming years. As you are aware, the league skips the spring season due to spring break and trying to get the workshops up to speed for the first quarter of the season. If you have any requests or suggestions for a spring sport for North Pole City, please be sure to contact the league as they are considering any suggestions right now. We have another report for community events from Becky. Becky, why don't you go ahead and take this one?
Thanks, Walter. Mrs. Claus's Kitchen will be hosting the 524th annual Brown Bag Lunch Exchange in the cafeteria this coming Thursday. Be sure to bring a brown bag lunch to work with you and drop it off in the cafeteria before your shift begins. Beverages and dessert will be provided in the cafeteria. I wonder what the dessert will be. Oh, they have such good desserts. Well, more information will be posted on the Mrs. Claus's Kitchen page on TAOLF.com.
Are you going to participate in that?
Of course I am, Walter. Are you going to participate?
I haven't in the past. Maybe I will.
I think you should. It's a really great event.
Okay.
I can't wait.
WELF NBC would like to wish a very happy 425th birthday to Theodore Cupcake Twinklestein. Theodore is the shift supervisor at Santa's Syrup Factory. He has been there at the syrup factory for almost 300 years now. Originally started out as the sugar loader, he has worked his way up to shift supervisor over the years. We wish you many more happy years. This is Walter Mistletoe Livingstone with a reminder. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Have a good evening and be sure to tune in next week for another WELF NPC North Pole Radio News Update.